Hi, I'm Sharon McLaughlin. I'm the owner and therapist here at Well Within Collective, and today we're going to talk about why we need therapy. Life is already challenging enough, and the thought of going to therapy can feel like one more unnecessary responsibility. I mean, seriously, do we really need to go to therapy? Well, therapy can be really helpful. It can offer education, exploration, and preventative care. Therapy provides us the opportunity to learn about brain functionality. I mean, seriously, how much do you actually know about the way your brain works? If this is something that was taught in school, clearly I must have been absent on that day. The primary job of the brain is to, keep us alive. All day long, the brain is taking in information through our senses, through the things that we see, smell, taste, touch, and hear. The brain then processes that information to determine if there's any potential dangers that it needs to respond to. Simple enough, right? The brain is first developed within our experiences in our mother's womb based off of her experiences. So the things that she was experiencing. Was she more social, more withdrawn? Was she sick, stressed, anxious, or had traumatic experiences of her own? Our brain development then extends to our early experiences and interactions with our caregivers after birth. Our daily interactions inform the way that we view our environment, our culture, our language, and forms our identity. Because at this time we were just a baby and we don't yet have verbal language, a lot of these brain connections are made through actions, sensations, emotions, and symbols. So let's pause here. Now would be a good time to start to consider what your early experiences were like. How did your caregiver respond to emotions? What did you learn about emotions from your caregiver? How did you see others expressing emotions? How did others respond to you as you expressed emotions? Oftentimes, what the brain processes can lead to misperceptions and misinformation. This then leads to what's called cognitive distortions. Much of these distortions then get repeated and become ingrained into our subconscious. Through therapy, we're able to take what's in the subconscious and bring it to our consciousness so that we can be more aware of what our experiences are and how we're interacting and processing information. This allows us to make more accurate meaning and understanding of the information that we're taking in through the brain. As you become more educated on how the brain processes information, you can then move into exploration. Therapy provides a safe place for exploration. Exploration can virtually be around anything, but when you come to therapy, there's going to be a specific focus on the things that have brought you into therapy, and those will be the things that are explored. Indicators that you need therapy can fall into one of two categories. The first one is our experience of others, which is our external world, or it could be our experience of ourselves, which is our internal world. As previously mentioned, the brain has a way of processing information to make sense of your world and to keep you safe. For effectiveness and better predictability, the brain is going to process similar situations the same way. Predictability allows the brain to respond faster to potential dangers. Safety is not just in the sense of physical safety, but also our emotional safety, which is linked to human connection. If the brain is sensing that our emotional connections are at risk, it's going to respond in a way to maintain those connections. When there is a risk to maintaining connection, whether it's with ourselves or with others, this is where symptoms are going to come in. So symptoms are going to be signs that there is a perceived or actual risk. Relational symptoms can include things like disconnect, conflict, cutoff, or misunderstandings. Physical symptoms may include over or under eating, aches, pains, nausea, irritability, or restlessness. Some symptoms may be underlying medical conditions, but even for pre-existing medical conditions, when there are mental concerns, these can become exacerbated. As previously mentioned, a lot of our memories are created during a time in which we're nonverbal. So even when we become verbal, our brain has already made connections through nonverbal means. Therapy provides us the opportunity to now provide language to some of these earlier experiences that we have that hold emotions, sensations, and symbols. Lastly, as you become more accustomed to engaging in more healthy and safe exploration, you can now engage in more preventative care. Oftentimes when people come to therapy, they're coming to therapy out of a reaction to something. Engaging in more proactive care can help maintain the relationships that you have with others and yourself. As potential issues can be predicted and responded to in advance, this can help minimize some of the symptoms that you would experience when the event takes place. It's pretty common for us to use preventative care when it comes to things like marriage, as many engage in premarital counseling. However, this is less likely when it comes to other predictable events such as moving, changing a job, having a baby, or launching children. All life transitions has the opportunity to impact our world as it introduces change. Change can introduce symptoms that our brain is trying to process and make sense of. Change oftentimes introduces symptoms as the brain is making attempts to respond to the new information. Thank you for joining me today in this video as to why we need therapy. Again, therapy can be very helpful in making sure we stay educated, that we have a safe space to explore, but also to engage in some preventative care. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all those things you're supposed to do. I'll see you in the next video.